Good afternoon here from a very sunny, a beautiful, resplendent Anglesey circuit. As you can see, now the vibe I'm getting around this paddock, this is a lot more than just racing.
Anyway, Rob Lewis down there in the pits, but we do start now clearing the grid and start turning our attention to the serious stuff as far as the Race of Remembrance is concerned. But of course, for a lot of people, as we've been hearing, the very serious stuff comes tomorrow at 11 with the Service of Remembrance, which gives me an opportunity just to describe once again how this weekend will unfold. 7 hours of uninterrupted racing about to get underway, starting on the dot of 3 o'clock. And once we get that underway, as Rob said, it will be dark within an hour and a half. But undeterred, our teams are going to be carrying on racing until 10 o'clock tonight as the green flag waves, but they will be showing you a 7-hour countdown which will get underway as soon as the safety car completes this one familiarisation lap, a final warming up lap. As the lights go out, the race is underway, and 7 hours of racing is cleanly underway at the moment. They're all still going through as these 55 cars, as the leader Tom Roach then goes through the hairpin.
So there is clearly an issue, maybe inside the cockpit, or they're just trying to get something sorted out inside the cabin with the driver. But I must say, there's not a lot of crew rushing around that car.
Adam Lesson is the driver who brought it in.
Fastest lap of a 1:38.7. Certainly, he is going to be the hare in this race. Hopefully, that car can hold out for the 12 hours. Sorry. Obviously, it's split up into 2 days. I'm just checking out the battle on the screen there, the BMW 116 cars. Go on, guys, absolutely. Well, a train of 4 BMW 116 cars, one after another. It's the Royal Navy versus the RAF. There's no holds bars here. They're going great guns. You see their car number 90 as well. They had their issues after the warm-up this morning. They had a leaky radiator, which is fine. It's okay. We'll just replace. Oh, contact! This is great racing. First up in this endurance racing, Foster's in wide again. Oh! Come on, guys, remember, this is a 12-hour race. This isn't a 15-minute sprint. Calm down.
Yes, and this is the rivalry between the forces, isn't it? And, of course, the problem is, I mean, the BMWs, although they're slower, are actually significantly bigger cars than the Caterhams. And you do kind of worry for Callum Lockie going through with the little Caterham there, purely because the physical size of the car is kind of overwhelmed a little bit by the forces having their own little battle. But Callum was able to get his way through there, but the battle continuing.
The battle continuing. I've just noticed on the screen there, Nick Jackson in the MJN Racing green Kermit Fiesta just cocking a wheel up and locking a brake at the same time as he was doing the old racer's trick, flashing his headlights to get the car in front to move out of the way. Unfortunately, mate, it doesn't work like that, so he's going to have to press on, work a bit harder to get past those guys in front. It looked, safety car. We have a safety car out on tracks.
That's kind of what I was going to, because the car has stopped on the circuit, but we haven't got it back yet.
It did look like it was banking. I could be wrong, however. I've been
right.
Yes.
Okay, so car number 52, the BMW entered by GT Wells. Talking about Joe Bagley, that's his car that's in the pits at the moment, the one he shares with Jason Batten, Steve Robinson, Mark Elliott.
And we've got the bonnet going up on car 52, maybe just for a cursory check.
Well, I think you've got the time to do it, haven't you? You've got a 4-minute mandatory pit stop at this point.
And it's a safety car.
And it's a safety car, so there is no reason, to my way of thinking, not to come in and make a pit stop. So I've been joined up here by Joe Bagley, car number 52, driving the GT Wealth Matabooboo Racing BMW.
No worries, it's my first time racing at the Race of Remembrance. As a trustee, it's one of those things I always thought I should do, so
yes.
Now's the time, and it's unbelievable to be able to experience it.
And, I mean, obviously you've not just decided to do this, you've thought about it and decided this is the thing to do. What kind of things can you do to prepare yourself?
I'm here with the other 3 members of my team, are all guys that I do track days with, and I've done track days with for 20, 30 years, and we've all been great friends, but none of them have ever raced before. I did in the 90s, and so I came to them at the beginning of the year and said, come on, let's go racing, and they thought it would be fun, more like, you know, a really bad version of Top Gear, I think is how they thought it was going to end up being. And we actually set out a plan and prepared over the year, and it's been a whole year of preparation, because obviously got to go and get your race license, which we didn't have, so we went to Thruxton and did that with the team from Mission Motorsport, and were taught and got our licenses. And then actually that sort of culminated in we had to find a car. So we're here with Steve Doherty and the group from Track Group, who are phenomenal and have prepared the car for us, and have been really great for novices like us that have got no idea what we're doing, holding our hands through the whole day and telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing. And then it culminated, we found a local racer who's been very successful here at Anglesey. So Matt Fazy came and taught us, and phenomenal. It was an unbelievable experience, because if you've ever only driven on track days, you're all about getting on the racing line and people being nice and getting out your way. Obviously, in a race like this, especially in a BMW, you're rarely on the racing line because you're moving out the way for a Caterham that's coming up on one side, then being overtaken by a Lotus, and there's nothing quite like coming through church flat out, being overtaken on both sides by other cars. It's unreal. So Matt took us around and had us all driving offline, which got a lot of people on the track day looking. We were a bit weird and a bit mental, and yeah, taught us lots of great things that have really come and paid off. So I think it's that sort of that stage of preparation. We've got track experience, but we didn't have race experience.
Yeah, exactly. And what's been the hardest thing for you to deal with?
Getting sponsorship. We're very kind. GT Wealth have sponsored us and have actually donated the money for the entry fee. So they paid the entry fee, and ourselves we're covering the other costs. So that was the hardest bit, I think. But I think, it's just mentally. I think really, to be honest, it's very scary. It's very daunting. To go out there with experienced racers, and you've never raced before, but you've been on tracks before. To do that is quite scary, especially at night. So the whole thing just to get here, but. The best thing about it, when I said to my friends, this is why I want you to do your first race here, I'd done it before, with this, because the family feeling here, the camaraderie, the experience, just everything about everyone here is making it such an amazing place to be. I mean, how could you not want to be here, and how could you not want to be part of this? And within, literally after dry qualifying yesterday, all of them turned and said, right, can we do this next year? I said, you've even done it yet? But yes, let's do it next year.
Yes, I mean, I think that's always a litmus test, isn't it? Would you do it again next year? And if you're planning for next year almost before you finish this, then that is a good indication of what's going on. You've driven the car already tonight?
Yes.
Another run at all tonight, or is that you done for tonight?
Well, I've been out for just over an hour. I think I might have gone out just before the end, but I think this extended safety car is probably going to drag it out. So
it's going to give you more fuel, effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to give us more fuel. Jason Batten's just got in. It's his first stint today. We've got 4 drivers, obviously. I was third, so he's 4th in. So I'm not sure. We might let the sort of Mark will go out after him, and Jason finishing off probably and seeing us through. And Stephen finishing off
up to
the
10 o'clock.
Up to 10 o'clock, I think it will be done. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you go into this with a plan. I'll do an hour, you do an hour, whatever. But as they always said, no good plan survives contact with the enemy. And here we are. Safety cars and everything else galore, and it all just changes the plan.
Joe Bagley, thank you very much for coming out to talk to us.
Well, no, thank you.
All the best. You're currently running 6th in class, so keep it up. See if you can move up the list. Podium's in sight. Come on. So even if you don't get to drive again tonight, we can see you driving tomorrow, no doubt. Joe Bagley, thank you very much indeed. Trustee, the only trustee who's racing here this weekend of Mission Motorsport, and we are grateful indeed to Mission Motorsport for all that they do. There it goes. Checkered flag is now out as across the line goes Henry Williams, then completing 205 laps in 7 hours 1 minute and 26.481 to be precise, but he'll finish on the same lap as Steve McCulley in the Rocket Racing Caterham in 2nd place, and he will also finish on the same lap as Michael Edwards with the Lotus Elise relay car.
So for now, from me, Robert Lewis, and from Paul Trustwell up in the commentary box, good night.